If you tell a story well, it always connects. Whether you are telling it to your child, putting her to sleep, or you are telling it on a film.
Different people, the film touched them differently, under the same umbrella.
So how difficult was to make this thriller with kids?
You wouldn't call it a thriller. It has its thrills.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's not a thriller genre.
Okay, it's a search film.
Yes.
And I think the kids are so delightful. They're so natural, and their innocence and their raw energy gives so much to adults. I feel it's always the reverse that we learn from them, and they bring in, and because they're also unpredictable. So, and I think because Brahmanand, he comes from the documentary background, I felt like, you've captured those moments so well, like the moment that he's describing when he doesn't recognize his sister.
It was
it's just a moment,
yes.
And his expression, it's captured. And it's so real. Your heart goes out.
And again, so he refuses to recognize his sister under pressure, but as he's being whisked away, he keeps on turning back, and with such sudden jerks, that it looks like a very desperate, and I think nobody instructed him to do that.
Yes, and
he was asked to turn and keep seeing, but nobody instructed him how to turn.
How to turn, how many times. I think kids bring what Tannishtha said is a lot of, there's no conditioning. And the more time you spend in this profession, you can second guess your reactions. But with kids, you can't. And they just bring something so fresh, and you have to be very observant, very alert to go with the flow. And then the scene gets enhanced. It cannot be over-rehearsed or something like that. They pick up very, very, and then they bring their own moments, And of course, you need a patient director, which he is, patient individual, and then director, yes.
Human trafficking or child labor, when you make such a film with a strong message, how do you connect to the sensibility of your audience?
Well, you have to have a good story, I feel, a story that connects with people. If you tell a story well, it always connects. Whether you are telling it to your child, putting her to sleep, or you are telling it on a film, But how you tell that story is always the dilemma. What works, what doesn't work. When you work at this scale, then it should connect, and it should connect with at different levels. So the film becomes a film of awareness and cause at one level. The film at another level, it becomes a film of inspiration and courage and power and problem-solving mindset and a great resolve inside. So and at yet another, it becomes a story of search, where she has to run into troubles and problems, and she has to sort it out. So I think it works at various levels, I feel, and that's what you need to do when you need a story which can connect with the masses. And this is not an indulgent art film in that sense, in the sense that it's simple enough for anybody to get moved. It's simple enough for anybody to understand what's happening. It's simple enough for anybody to see that I could be that girl, or I could be that boy, or I could be the parent to them who has lost their child.
It's your Spider-Man, Superman. This is your Supergirl, and inspiring story, going against all odds. In the end, what happens in Spider-Man or something like that? It works on a very thin plot, without discounting anything, but it works on a very thin plot. Here, there are real life challenges. The film's based on many true incidents. Challenges of a young girl, threat of death, brother's been taken away, she's not getting help, but she keeps her wisdom, she's clever, she's sharp, she's alert, and she uses that to her advantage, all in a positive way, following the right path, because, and in the bargain ends up teaching the system as well what to do, what not to do. So I think it works at various levels. There's inspiring, there's an awakening. You know, I'm sure when you're watching the film, you will feel somewhere guilty, or you will be awakened. Some little change will happen inside you. So it connects to the audience, and we should not. That's the problem. We always underestimate our audiences. Just because something does well doesn't mean the other, palette doesn't exist. It exists. And this is a film, like Brahma said, it's an entertaining film. Let's not make it heavy. Of course, the subject is real.
What impact do you want the film should have on the audience?
I think if in the audience, someone asked me, I mean, are you aspiring for awards for the film or something? I think the award, this film, we had a screening. There were many awards because different people, the film touched them differently, under the same umbrella. There's a little awakening, little realization, little sensitization, and that's the award. If you come back, if you take this, you will take this film home with you, and you will discuss it for the next few days. And years to come, this will become a reference film. Just because your life has certain privileges, one should not become ignorant. So this film does not do any bhashangiri or preachiness or something, nothing. It just very subtly tells a story, and where you realize, oh my God, what world we live in, and we need to be sensitized. You don't need to become an activist, but the way you behave with the child, your children in the building, society, etc., that little change will also happen.
Thank you so much for the interview.
Thank you.
Thank
Thanks
you.
a lot.
Thanks.
Thanks a lot. Hi, this is Sanjay Suri, and you're watching me on Box Office India. Please do like, share, and subscribe.